Hey, you're listening to Mic'd Up with Mama Shaun, the podcast where purpose meets play and passion turns into power. I am your host, Rashawn Webb, but around here they call me Mama Shaun. The name was first spoken by a little boy who called me Mom before I even understood what that title meant. But now I carry it with pride as a mentor, a coach, and a mother to many. From running my child care center and my child care training company, coaching CEOs and leading with faith, I am here to help you grow with grace, build with purpose, and lead from the heart. So let's get mic'd up and dig in. Hey family, welcome back to another episode of Mic'd Up with Mama Shaun. If this is your first time here with us, welcome. And if you've been rocking with me for the last almost year now, thank you for trusting me with your ears and your heart. Now, today's episode, unlike any other, we know Valentine's Day is coming up, and when I record this episode, it is a Monday, but when you hear it, Valentine's Day will be tomorrow. And so I wanted to do something different because everyone's talking about love and finding love and loving themselves. And so I wanted to do something different just to kind of ease the stress of the pressures of what Valentine's Day is about. So today's episode, because it's Valentine's Day, I need to say something out loud that somebody listening really needs to hear. Valentine's Day will have you questioning your worth. It will have you question if you're even going to find love or be found of it. It makes you think that you're behind, right? That the time has passed you by, or the love that you had, you lost, and you don't know if you're going to get that love again. Valentine's Day we have made that day feel pressured. We've made it feel like a job, a responsibility. If it makes you think that you're behind, unchosen, or unloved, then this episode is for you. I am Mama Shaun, and I want you to go with me on this journey. So let me say this clearly. You're not unloved because you're not partnered. Because you're not partnered does not mean you're not worthy. Because you're not partnered does not mean that you're not qualified. All right, let's talk about it. So let's talk about the pressures of Valentine's Day, right? People argue that it's commercialized. People argue that that's where people make the most money and then nothing happens or nothing comes of it. Every February, the world gets loud. Roses, dinner dates, social media highlight reels, engagements, special moments that are captured. And if you're not careful, you will start to measure your value by what or who you don't have. And that is easy to do. I remember for years, every Valentine's Day, I would either wear all black or I would just go dark and just go off grid. But for the last several years, I've decided to embrace what Valentine's Day is. For me, Valentine's Day is the birthday of my child care center. For me, Valentine's Day is one of the days where one of my kids is his birthday. For me, Valentine's Day is the day I get to celebrate love, whoever I run across. So I want you to be careful. Be careful before you start measuring your value and your worth by a day. Because remember, people make the day. The day has always been here, but someone declared Valentine's Day February 14th, right? Someone declared it. So if someone declared it and commercialized it, don't measure yourself by what someone has declared or commercialized. But hear me when I say love is not missing from your life just because it looks different, right? I have been single for since 2018, and every year I've celebrated my kids, my center on that day, or I've celebrated with the kids. We've had a Valentine's dance or something at the center. I took my mind off of what I did not have to focus on who's in front of me that I can give and show love to, right? Yes. Do I miss being in love? Absolutely. Do I miss being in a relationship? Absolutely. Do I miss having that person that wants to be with you forever and chooses you? Absolutely. But here's the thing about that. You get that with the people that you associate with and love on every day. It doesn't have to be just for Valentine's Day. Some of us are deeply loved by our community, right? Whoever your community structure is. Some of us are held by our faith and our belief in God, our belief in Jesus, our belief in what we hold as a religious moral standard to our compass every day. Some of us are learning how to finally love ourselves. So many women that I meet just throughout life are going through this journey of loving myself. How do I love myself? I lost myself. How do I get back to myself? I have been there more times than I can count, where I've lost myself in a man, or I've lost myself in the relationship. Not he pulled me in. I went nuts and just floated away until it's just like when paper goes into water. When you put a piece of paper in water, and I want you, if you can, do this as an exercise. Fill up a bucket or a bowl or something of water, put paper in it, and watch what happens to that paper. That's what happens when you fall in love. You dissolve yourself into that thing. Now, that water is still constant and still there, but that paper has become one with the water to where it's no longer paper. That's how I was in a relationship. And that's the thing that truly made me hate myself afterwards, because once again, I did not go into this relationship educated. I didn't go into this relationship with a goal. I didn't go into this relationship with a mind to understand my partner. I went in full-fledged in. By the time I realized where I was and what I was doing, I had already lost myself to the process. In most cases, I became what my partner wanted me to become. And guess what? Learning to love yourself counts. Because if you can't learn, and if you don't know how to love yourself, how are you going to learn to love anybody else? How? How do you learn to love when you don't know how to love? Love is an action word, right? And contrary to popular beliefs, love was created by the Lord. It wasn't created by humans. And one of the things that I always ask myself is, Lord, teach me how to love, because you created love. Now love has so many definitions and variations, but sometimes we forget to ask the Creator what he meant when he created love, right? Let's talk about the love that we don't talk about. Let's talk about the love nobody puts on a Valentine's card. Self-love, the kind that looks like rest, the kind that looks like setting boundaries, the kind that looks like getting the help you need however you need it, saying no without explaining yourself. And that is something that I have feverishly worked on and have failed and tried up until recently. How do you love yourself? Because remember, you can't love someone until you learn to love you. Otherwise, that relationship is going to be toxic. And relationships, not necessarily dating, friendships, sisterhoods, brotherhoods, whatever hoods, you want to know how to love that person, right? We can all take the love language quiz to find out what our partner's love languages are. But when we get the results, do we look at them or do we love them based on what we feel? Okay. My self-love looks like going to Disney for a week and spending time there where I'm the happiest, and enjoying my space, that space. Love to me looks like the warm, loving smile and embrace of my kiddos as we sit together, laugh together at the center, and the staff and my teachers and my family and whoever else comes into my space that says that they love me. Leadership love, loving people without losing yourself, showing up with compassion, but not self-abandonment. How many times have you self-abandoned because of somebody else? How many times have you abandoned who you are and your identity because of someone else? And by the time you get back to the mirror, you don't know who you are because you wrapped yourself up in someone else that wasn't worthy. How many times do we wrap ourselves up in someone who is not worthy of our love? Ladies, how many times have you done this? Too many to count, huh? I understand. I have been there and I have done that more times than I can count. But the wonderful thing about it is when you learn the lesson, you keep moving forward and you don't go back. How about spiritual love? Spiritual love is the love that doesn't ghost you. It doesn't show up when it feels like it. It doesn't expire, and it doesn't need your proof to stay. Your spiritual love, who spiritually guides you, who spiritually makes sure that you're on the right path to get you where you want to go. Who does that for you? Not everybody is qualified to do that for you. There's so many spiritual people out there, so many spiritual leaders that are misusing the people, but that's another show. But who is helping you and guiding you according to what God has for you? So let me just say this part. Some of us don't need a Valentine. We need a nap and a boundary. We need a place to rest. How many of you need a place to rest? How many of you are just looking for some relief from the toxic environment that was created? How many of you are just looking for a space of peace where you can just think and figure out, how do I put my foot in front of the other? Or how do I put my heart back together? This is not your ordinary Valentine's episode. All right, so let's get personal. Let's have a real talk moment. There was a season when I thought love was something I wanted to have, and I was waiting to arrive, waiting to choose me. And then it occurred to me that I am worthy. As I'm sitting here waiting by the bus, right? I'm worthy of the love that I deserve. But I've also learned this past weekend that although I am worthy, I don't have to settle because I feel I'm worth having. Any Tom, Dick, and Harriet can come and say, I love you, and you're this, and all these different things. But just because I'm available doesn't mean I have to choose you. So then I ask myself, am I available or am I available? Am I available, meaning I'm excited, I'm willing, or am I available? I'm single, but I'm unbothered. Which available are you? Are you available? I'm ready. I'm excited. Let's go. Or I am available. I'm just not interested. In the way I show up for others, I have to look at myself. How do I show up for others? In a way I survived heartbreak. How do I show up for others that are going through and trying to navigate their heartbreak? I had a conversation with my heartbreaker, and we talk every now and again. And when we talk from a standpoint of, I know I did this to you, so let me help you fix it. Let me help fix what I broke. Let me help you feel whole so you can love again for the future. Let me do what I can do because I know I ruined you. And I let that person take full responsibility and accountability for the actions. My heartbreak is my story. My healing is my story. And when going through it, I decided to put my heart out there. Not because I'm single and I'm available, but because I want to. But I want to do and be it with the right person. Right? If it's complicated, if it's tension, if it's friction and toxicity from the jump, it's not going to work. Now, you can be functioning in this environment, but that doesn't mean that it's working. Right? I can use the remote on the for the TV, and I can hit the remote, and it might work, or I could just press the button and it'll work. Either way, I need to find the root of the problem of why the remote works sparingly. I stopped waiting for love to arrive and realized it had been with me the whole time. I am capable of love. You are capable of love, and you are worthy of the love. The love that makes your butterflies in your stomach come alive. I remember the first time butterflies came back alive in my tummy. I was on a business call, and I'm not going to name the person, but I was on a business call talking about childcare. And this person is associated with an academy. And we were just talking about marketing and some things, and we turned our cameras on. And although I know this person and I have seen this person several times, but this particular time, it hit my tummy like I did not expect it to. And boy, when it hit, it hit. Oh my gosh. It hit. And I remember thinking how excited I was to feel this way again. Oh, I could not believe it. The person necessarily wasn't right for me because they weren't. It wasn't about the person. It was about the feeling that I felt again after all this time. And I remember a friend of mine, sister of mine, told me when your heart wakes up from its hibernation, you're going to feel it. And now I do. And this was maybe 3 years ago. And I'm so grateful that my heart woke up because there was a time that I didn't think it would. There was a time that I didn't think I would ever feel like I could love a man again, ever. Or that forget being worthy, forget that I wasn't even interested because my heart was too fragile and I just could not, I couldn't take another break. But this is what I learned. And one day I'll share it with you. I remember asking the Lord one time why it didn't work. I remember asking, what happened? What did I do? All the things. And I remember asking what the true definition of a husband is. And I got my answer. And boy, did I get my answer. So I want to pause for a second. And I want you to ask yourself, how do I show myself love? Where am I settling for crumbs? What kind of love do I deserve next? Those are questions I really want you to ask yourself because to open your heart to someone is a huge deal. To open your heart to someone to try again is a huge deal. So I want you to think about where you are in your journey of love. Where is your heart leading you? Where is your heart speaking to you at? What is your heart telling you to do? Because see, let's be honest, my heart had took a beating that it had never taken before. Have I had a heartbreak before? Yes, absolutely. But this particular one, it took a beating. It took a beating. And in my book, Mic'd Up with Mama, oh gosh, in my book, Life After Heartbreak, Now What? I discuss everything. And in there, we talk about how my heart hurt for the longest time. We talk about how I tried to figure out how to unalive myself. We talked about how I tried to get over every area being a memory. It was so many memories, and I felt like I was suffocating. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, everywhere I go is a memory. How am I supposed to move past this? It's everywhere I go, we've been. And so, me and the Lord wrote the book. And I started my healing journey because it was not his wish for me. Now, I am in love with love. I'm in love with life. And I'm not putting myself in a position to cry over what I don't have, but I'm putting myself in a position to celebrate what I do have. It is so easy to point out what we don't have, right? So easy. But what about what we do have? What do you have that you can celebrate this Saturday? Will it keep you warm at night? Maybe not. Will it make you all warm and fuzzy and give you butterflies? Maybe not. Will you see other people celebrating and feel some kind of way? Probably. But find something to do to take your mind off of what you don't have. Go somewhere. Do something that's going to allow you to escape to a place that's going to keep your mind from wandering off. We have a bad habit of that as humans, right? Our mind wanders and then we got to this and that. Don't do that. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. So Thursday, I'm going to go get 100 balloons for my kiddos at my center, and we usually put it all over the ceiling. So when the kids come in, they see all these balloons for the party on Friday. Then Friday, I'm going to celebrate our center, and we're having a Disney theme. So I'm going to celebrate my kids and celebrate all the cool things and just enjoy all the goodies and the treats for the party. Saturday, I'm going to be at a training in Houston at a conference where I'm going to have another Valentine's Day party with my participants. Showing and spreading love to others. That is going to be my goal this Valentine's Day. I am going to spread love to whoever I come in contact with. I'm going to go get a cute outfit that expresses that sentiment, and I am not going to let it stop me. Could I find a Valentine? Yeah, absolutely. But do I want one for one day to do what? What is that gonna make me feel afterwards? Nothing. I don't want a Valentine for one day. I want a Valentine for a lifetime. Someone to choose me every day and I choose him every day. So until that comes, I choose love and sharing it with everybody every day. So don't let Saturday warp your mind and your heart. Don't let it pull you into despair where you feel like you're not good enough to be loved because love hasn't found you yet. You know how many people there are in this world? Do you know how many people there are in this world? More than you and I can count. And you know what that means? God knows where every one of those people are, including your person. So why not prepare yourself for that person? And that's what I plan to do. I know what I have in my heart. I know the kind of love I can give a man. I don't doubt that. I don't question it. I'm a good woman. My ex will tell anybody I am a good woman and I love with every ounce of me. You don't have to question my love or my loyalty. I know that. I know the kind of one. I will make you feel like a king. I will make you feel, and I want to say like a god because there's only one, but I will make you feel like you belong. because as your woman, that's my job, is to make you feel like you are the breath of fresh air that my lungs needed. You are that voice I need to hear pounding in my head to soothe my weary mind. You are the arms I need to hold me when the storms come and they're so treacherous and my arms are flimsy and weak. Your mind is the mind I need to help me navigate big choices and big things, because you are the head of our family. And your heart is the thing I need beating when my heart is tired. At the same time, I will be the strong survivor that you need to keep you going and moving and pushing towards your destiny. And I know that about me. What do you know about you? Here's your mic'd up moment for this episode. This Valentine's Day, remember this: you are not behind. Yes, I get the age, and yes, I get all those things. But I promise you, honey, you are not behind. Trust me. I thought I was behind. But one of the things I asked the Lord was, help me be content where I am. Because if I'm content, then I can't miss what's not in front of me, but I can be happy where I am. You are not forgotten. Remember when I told you that God knows where everyone is? And guess what? He knows where you are too. You are waiting to be chosen for that right person. But don't stand around waiting. Don't stand around waiting, because you're already loved. You might not be loved by what you want, but you are already loved. You're loved by me. If no one else loves you, I love you. And if you haven't heard it today, guess what? I love you. I love you for exactly who you are, because after all, that is what should be accepted. People should accept exactly as you are. You are already worthy. You are already enough. You are perfect the way you are. And that's the problem. We change ourselves because of what we think the other person needs or wants, but then we lose ourselves. Remember, you are the paper in that water. If you lose yourself to someone, you look at that paper and see if you can find it after a while. You leave that paper in there for a couple hours and see if you can locate it. Leave it in there for a day. See if you can locate it. If the answer is no, that means you can't locate yourself in that body of relationship that we call water. Love yourself. Choose yourself. Until that person finds you or comes to your rescue, choose yourself. Because you, my dear, you are worth waiting for. But the only one who knows that is you. Until next time, stay mic'd up.